Welcome to Star Wars Action News, helping Star Wars collectors collect better.
We went and saw Spin Master, who, 2 days before Toyfair, were all the rage because they had a life-size voice control BB-8.
Now, we looked this up. BB-8 life-sized would be about 2 feet 2 inches, which is much, much smaller than an R2-D2.
Yes, and for some reason I thought he'd be bigger, not R2-D2 size, but he'd come up to your waist still.
Nah, he's knee-high, like a good sock. But this life-size BB-8 by Spin Master, I think it's a little bit smaller than life-size. Didn't they say it was about 18 inches?
16.
16 inches. So it's fudging the life-size a little bit, but this thing looks really fun. Now, because this was a prototype, and I could see their little magician tricks, they were pretending to speak to it, but they had a little button that they were pushing in their pocket to make it respond. The tech isn't complete yet. This was just a prototype. They wouldn't let us take any video. They let me snap the hell out of it with photos, though. And this is taking me back to a toy that I probably haven't had so much fun with since 2002, when during Attack of the Clones, Hasbro released the interactive R2-D2.
I love that thing. And in fact, so much, I found one on Craigslist, a couple of years later, that someone was selling brand new for $50 because the kid said he was too old for Star Wars.
Yeah, that is such a fun thing. We played with that, even though the voice commands, it only had a few and it had some Easter eggs in it. We played with that so much for so many years, and it was a splurge. I was unemployed, that was a $100 item, but never regretted it, never looked back. And this one looks to be as fun, because you say certain things to him, they say he's going to back away in fear, you're going to ask him how he's doing, and he's going to respond. That's just like that R2-D2 did.
Yeah, with R2-D2, we had a lot of fun with him because you could say things, as long as you prefaced it with, "Hey, R2," and then you stated your question, he would respond. You go, "Hey, R2, do you remember Princess Leia?" And he would say, and you'd hear the clip from the movie, "Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope." Or, "Hey, R2, do you remember Darth Vader?" And he'd back up and do that, "Wah!"
That's almost exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty good, isn't it?
And it seems like they're going to be doing a lot of that with BB-8, but they're going one better. Because I gotta say, the one thing that was tricky about Hasbro's R2-D2 was getting him to move. "Hey, R2, move forward 3 units." Or, "Hey, R2, program mode, move forward 3 units."
That was a bit of a pain, but he had a sentry mode where he'd learn your room, but then all he'd do was just circle the room.
Yeah, or bump into walls repeatedly. And kind of like the Sphero BB-8 does too.
Yes.
Only not that advanced. But this BB-8 from Spin Master is remote control. And the controller they have is kind of fun because it's just a single, D-pad thumbstick like you'd get on a PlayStation to control all the directions. And while it was just on a little table, it looks like it can go at a pretty good clip.
Yeah, it does. And it also has a follow me mode. So you can walk around the house with BB-8 following you, which is really cool.
They said that was done through infrared. And so what it is it's line of sight, but once it hooks onto you, you can wear this and it's going to follow you. But it means it needs to see that beam at all time. It's not like it's using Bluetooth or any kind of RF signal where it could follow that. But yet, there's just something that reminds me of walking the dog. I mean, they were talking about recreating the scenes of where, Rey was walking away and BB-8 was following her. But then it got me thinking I actually could walk the dog and BB-8, and BB-8 could just, follow behind us, and that would be really fun to do in the neighborhood, and people just be like, "Why is there a droid following Arnie and his chihuahua?"
It's no weirder than the lady who rides around her neighborhood walking her dogs on her Rascal, and one of the dogs rides on the Rascal instead of walking.
What about the lady in our neighborhood who walks her cat on a leash?
That's true, there is that too.
I think that I'm one of the more normal ones with a BB-8.
I think this is going to be fine.
Now, Spin Master is the company that makes the Air Hogs, and I've got a chance to play with the Air Hogs a little bit last year at New York Comic-Con. I've not bought any of these yet. I was truthfully waiting for post-Christmas clearance, because they looked like little Star Wars toys with propellers, but they had 2 on display that actually blew my mind. They're doing a Darth Vader TIE Fighter, but unlike the Millennium Falcon, which basically just looks like a drone where you see the propellers and it's got this very lightweight Millennium Falcon mold around it, here, I defy you to at a glance tell me where the propellers are for Darth Vader's TIE Fighter.
Yeah, they have them hidden pretty well, and it's pretty interesting. And they weren't able to get it up and fly first because of just the different mechanics in Javits. There's too many people around. You don't want people to lose an eye, that kind of stuff. But
It's very light foam. I don't think you're going to shoot your eye out.
Well, you never know. I would be the one to lose an eye.
But it's in the front. They have literally rocket scientists working on this. And so where the cockpit is actually bringing in enough thrust to produce lift. And they're doing the X-Wing, and it's actually in the little engine pods. It's not like they cut holes in the wings of the X-Wing to have this. And so that is actually a masterful design. It's still, a little very lightweight as it needs to be in order to maintain flight. RC device that's a good gust of wind is going to take it away. But man, that is a huge improvement in their design for the Air Hogs. And one of these days I will pick that up and we'll do a full review of that. That should be a fun time. I always like going out to the park and flying things for the show. But I'm not buying an Air Hog because I want an exact replica. I'm buying an Air Hog because I want to fly stuff.
Thanks for watching this video. You can see full episodes of Star Wars Action News with more collecting news and reviews at swactionnews.com. We also have thousands of toy and collectible photos in our photo gallery. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. May the pegs be stocked and the Force be with you.